Alright guys, so if you guys are new to Mike's OG Academy, we do everything you guys need to know about golf instruction, whether it be golf course vlogs like this one, golf instructional videos. Again, anything you guys need to know about golf instruction, we do it here. So anyways guys, let's hop into this course vlog. So this is going to be a 9-hole course vlog. This is part 1. We're at the beautiful St. Mark Golf Club where I teach in San Marcos, California. Again, hole number 1, 300-yard par 4. It's a little rainy right now. Camera angle's a little bit off on this shot as well, but don't worry guys, the camera angles get much better. So I'm hitting a 6-iron here. I didn't warm up at all. That's why you kind of saw me do some swings with that little stick just to get the feel. Hit a nice little draw up the middle. Ended up being left side fairway. Good swing to start with, solid contact. Didn't really swing too hard, so I didn't go quite that far. But again, middle of the fairway. So anyways, we had about 142, I think, to the pin. I'm doing a little bit of lift clean in place there if you guys aren't wondering. Again, the fairways were pretty wet. I got a pitching wedge here just because with damp fairways, you can tend to get some flyer lies almost out of these things. There wasn't a whole lot of wind at this current time, so I'm trying to take pretty much dead aim, if anything, hit a little draw off that pin, because that is kind of my stock shot. I typically do hit a little bit of a draw, even though sometimes lately I've been trying to play fade on the course. Today I wasn't one of those days. I haven't played in a little while, so I was just trying to kind of get back into the swing of things. So that one, as you can see, I kind of overdid the draw. I got a little flippy at the bottom of the swing, ended up pulling it left of the green. So I left myself a pitch shot of somewhere around 30 yards. Not the best wedge shot, but again, hadn't really had any warm up. The reason for me doing this course vlog is I wanted to kind of document for my students and for you guys out there that are viewers that are watching, how you can go basically start at a certain, let's call it handicap. So this is my first statistical kind of testing round, seeing where I'm at, and then basically from here I'm going to document my journey through the next month to kind of get my handicap back down to scratch. So anyways guys, that chip was pretty good there. I thought it was going to roll out a little bit more. The greens are a little slow just because of the rain, but I left myself with a decent look at par here. It's going to be a downhill left or right slider. Obviously I wanted to be a little bit past the pin to have the uphill right to left putt, but again, a little rusty here guys. Typically when I was playing professional golf, you always want to leave yourself that uphill putt. Anyways, I'm playing this left edge, just a touch, probably a half cup out to a quarter cup out left. Just trying to keep the speed up with these putts. I thought I hit a pretty good putt there, but it just dove off to the right, just didn't play enough break. Started out with kind of a frustrating little bogey there from the middle of the fairway, especially on a short par 4, but there's plenty of time in the rest of this round. So anyways, hole number 2 at St. Mark Golf Club is a 398-yard par 4. Tees are played subtly up today. I think it was playing more like 385. Again, pretty wet fairway, so you're not going to get a lot of roll. Pin, I believe, was tucked in the back, so I was trying to hit driver here and get myself a nice little wedge in so I can go and attack and try to start getting some birdies flowing. So anyways, as you can see right now, I'm going through my feel process where I'm really just trying to feel out the shot. This current one, I was trying to hit about like a 20-30 yard hook shot. I kind of like playing this shot on this hole just because it suits my eyes. I aim up in between these 2 trees out there, and I try to just kind of hit a slinger back in play. So let's see what I do. Started a little bit more right than I wanted to, drew back actually a little bit too much. And right about here when it drops, I got a pretty big kick to the left as well, so I'm over off into the trees. Luckily I drew a decent lie in the rough, kind of a little bit of a flyer lie, but again, no real tree trouble at all. I got about 105 yards to the back of this green, so I'm hitting a little flighted gap wedge here. I'm trying to kind of hit like a, not a low draw, but pretty much like a mid-flight draw. Balls below the feet. I think a little bit of that draw is going to counteract some of this shot. I'm trying to miss it a little bit right of the pin if I do miss it, because it gives me an uphill right to left putt. Hit a really good shot here. Started drawing back to target, but then it kind of, the wind pushed it touch back more to the right. You can kind of see it falling over there. Didn't quite get it back there as well. I was never going to go long with that shot because that is where all the trouble is. So anyways, uphill putt right around 28 to 30 feet. This is kind of a tricky green. If you guys ever played here at St. Mark Golf Club, you kind of know what I mean. The back pin is actually not that tough of a putt. Usually when it's the front pin, you can get really quick, especially when the greens are speeding up. The greenskeeper has been doing a great job lately. It's been getting so much rain, but of course it's actually looking really nice besides some obviously spotchy spots on the fairway. All right, so anyways, we got an uphill putt again, 28 feet to 30 feet. This one's gonna be breaking slightly left to right. This one I had no practice putts, right? I had no warm-up or anything, so I'm really just trying to get the feel of the greens. The first putt I hit was obviously a shorter putt, so this is kind of the first real test of the day. So I just want to make sure I got good pace here and hit my starting line and see what happens, and then I can start adjusting from there. So I hit my starting line, hit a pretty good putt. I'm kind of playing this off. I was happy with that putt. I just, for the camera, obviously you want to make it. But anyways, nice little tap in par. 2019 rules apply, so that is not a penalty. Anyways, 1 over after 2, not too bad. Next hole, right around 190 to 200 yard par 3. Tees were up again, and it was a front pin, so it was really playing more so like 181 to that pin, 182. I have a 7-iron here. I'm trying to, it was kind of in between clubs, a little cold out, still not quite warmed up, so I didn't, normally 182 is pretty much kind of like a really hard 8-iron or kind of a soft 7-iron, but actually this one I felt like I was hitting a pretty stock, just normal full swing 7-iron because I wasn't quite fully warm. I'm trying to hit a little kind of stock mid-flatted draw in there. I'm aiming at the tree at the middle of the green and trying to draw it back. If anything, I'm going to err slightly right, but I hit the shot exactly how I wanted to. It started right at that tree and drew in nicely. Wind was helping it a touch too, and I ended up hitting a really good shot there. You guys will see here in a sec. I got right around, let's say about 8 feet. It is another left or right slider a little bit, but again, anytime you hit it to 8 feet from 180 yards, you're obviously very happy because that's well within the tour average. So anyways, guys, I'm kind of taking track right here of where the slopes are, where the valley is. I'm really trying to see kind of where my fall line is going to be. I like to do this thing where I kind of walk on the low side and I can kind of see a little bit more of the break. If I'm really confused, you'll see me go behind the hole as well. This one was a pretty easy read. I knew it was left or right. It was just all about getting the speed because I still didn't feel like I was quite comfortable getting the correct speed on these shorter putts to hole a lot of them, right? Because there's a holing speed that I prefer. It's a little bit faster than die speed, and it's not quite holing speed is really when I putt my best. So I'm still trying to find that speed and the lines to match up because again, guys, I didn't do any practice putting. If this was a tournament, obviously I would love to have practiced, but I was trying to get this round in before the rain. As you can see, I hit a really good putt there, just didn't quite get it to the hole. That was a little frustrating, but nice little easy par on a tough par 3. Going into the last kind of challenging hole of this side, which is hole number 4. So this one, tees are up again a little bit by about 10 yards. It's a 445, 50-yard par 4, I believe, typically into the wind. It's playing more, obviously, 10 yards up, it's playing more like 435 into the wind. So anyways, again, obviously I'm taking driver because I want to be able to get it down there. I'm starting this one, actually, I figured out on this hole, I've had so many troubles with driving on this hole. I figured out the best way for me to play this hole is to hit about a 50-yard, 40-yard hook shot. Now it sounds kind of weird, but it's actually a shot on this course that actually kind of comes into play on a certain shot. So as you can see, I start that up the cart path and then I draw it back into kind of like the left center. So pretty big hook shot, but again, it's actually a shot that I used to play a lot in high school when I was under the gun because I just feel comfortable pulling that off. So anyways, hit a really good shot here. I got about 155 to the pin. I had a 9-iron, 8-iron. It's into the wind. There's this tree here which kind of made this shot a little bit tough. So I could get 9-iron over the tree, but I was afraid I wasn't going to quite clear the front bunker just because the wind would catch it. 8-iron, I'm going to have to pull off, obviously, a low hook and gauge this distance pretty well. So it's a shot, obviously, when I don't practice that much. It's obviously a very tough shot to pull off. 9-iron might have been the safer play, just short and right and pitched it up. But I wanted to kind of test myself today and see what I could do. So I went for the 8-iron shot where I was trying to hit a low hook right of the tree and kind of draw it in and get perfect distance. So what you're going to see here is I'm going to be lining up probably about 2 to 3 yards right of the tree. And I'm going to be trying to hit kind of a mid to low flighted 8-iron draw. Just like that. And I drew it back right on target. It was such a good shot, that one right there. I landed about 25 feet short, rolled up maybe a touch more, gave myself a nice little look at birdie on this tough par 4. I think this is the #1 handicap hole on this side. So anyways, guys, I'm looking good. Swing's feeling pretty good at this point. I haven't made a putt yet, which is a little frustrating, but looking to make this one, get it back to even par, and there's a bunch of birdie holes coming in. So this one, uphill putt, it's kind of a weird, tricky little double breaker. If you, At first, kind of midway through the putt, it pushes it a smidge left, but then at the end, it definitely snaps off to the right. It's really hard to know that it's going to do this. This is these greens at St. Mark are definitely greens you have to play at least 10-15 times to kind of get the reads, because when I first started teaching out here and I played a couple rounds, I putted atrociously just because I didn't really know the slopes and how the valley affected the greens out here, and it was really frustrating until you kind of just get you map out the greens and you kind of get your memory to understand or to memorize where the breaks are and all that good stuff. So anyways, I knew this one was pretty much, even though it's pushing a little left halfway through, I knew it was going to snap back pretty good, so I was trying to play this one about a half cup out left, figuring that midway through I'll push it about a cup and then it should snap back in. So let's see what I do. Hit a pretty good putt here. I thought about here was going in. It just didn't quite snap the way I thought it would, but again, another really good putt, just barely missed. Tap in par and 1 over through 4 holes. So we're going to do an outro here right now. Guys, so hopefully you enjoyed that course vlog. Again, it was a little rainy, but I did it for you guys because I love you guys, right? But anyways, the main point of this course vlog was I wanted you guys to kind of see how I play, how I'm going to be prepping. I got kind of not a tournament, but I have to play with some possible sponsors here in a month. So I wanted to kind of document how I'm going to get my game prepped for something like that, because I think it's very similar to what you guys would be doing if you're going to prep yourself for a tournament. So anyways, this was my first statistical round. This was part 1. You guys will see part 2 here pretty soon. If you guys haven't already, feel free to smash that like button, leave me a comment, let me know how we're doing, and as always, hit that little red subscribe button. Alright guys, best of luck and play some good golf out there.
I'ma go as hard as I can.